Okay, welcome everybody. So glad to have you at our event. Thank you for coming to the virtual party. We've got lots of good helpers on here, some wonderful interns and volunteers and board members and coordinators, and just appreciate you so much being here. We've got some people on Facebook Live and we've got some people on Zoom. But thank you for coming. We'll only keep you for maximum an hour. And we're doing a fun little giveaway on Facebook. If you haven't had a chance to see that yet, you can hop on Facebook and you can get some extra entries into a giveaway that we're doing and things like that. And each attendee gets 10 additional giveaway entries for coming on to the event today. There's also going to be trivia questions in the chat. You see the chat button down in the bottom of your Zoom, and there'll be some on Facebook Live also. But be sure to put in your name and email in the chat too, so that we know that you attended the event, and we'll put those extra entries into for the giveaway. And if you hadn't, let's see, the giveaway. So you'll have time to do the entries on Facebook, and we'll announce the winners tomorrow, Friday at noon Mountain Time. So there's still time to get involved in that. And we look forward to sharing a little bit about what Bountiful Children is doing to help fight against malnutrition and how you can get involved. Our goal tonight is to raise $6,000 for the community of Iloilo. There are many children there that have been identified as malnourished and need supplements to enable them to reach their full potential. And we'll be taking some questions at the end too, so you can put them in the chat or in the comments on Facebook. And you can also direct the questions to a certain person if you feel that you want to ask them a specific question. And then Bob Reese is one of the founders of Bountiful Children. And he is on, and he was most recently on Latter-day Lights podcast, sharing his story of why he got involved with helping malnourished children. And we asked Bob if he could share a little about his experience with Bountiful and the Philippines. Thank you, Bob. We appreciate your efforts all these years.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm so absolutely pleased to be with you on this shared way of communicating across half a world. And what a great blessing we have with the modern technology that allows us to see one another's faces and hear one another's voices. I can't say how much I love and appreciate the Philippine people. My visit there some years ago was absolutely a joy, as my coworkers and I traveled to different places and screened children and met church leaders, and ended our time with a report to the area presidency. I remember very clearly, after our report to Elder Echohawk of what we had found, he said, "I had no idea we had malnourished children in the Philippines." That was about 8 years ago. I think it indicates that malnutrition very often is a silent condition. Not everyone is aware of it. Not every child obviously exhibits malnutrition, but as we know, it is a serious worldwide problem. I just was reading today in Melissa Anyue's new book on eternal struggles that somewhere upward of 700 million people live on less than $2 a day. That is an enormous group of people who are malnourished, who need help, and the Philippines is one of the areas where that is so, and where our work is, I think the best way to describe it, our work is sacred, because it does what Jesus asks us to do, to take care of the least of his children. And I saw someone saying, well, why are you taking care of these people? They should be able to take care of themselves. And if that were the case, Jesus would not have told us to take care of the little ones, but to take care of others and to see them as we would see him. So we are immensely grateful for Christine's work and the work of her co-founder, her co-workers in the Philippines, for the parents who bring their children to us and the hope that we will be able to help them, and for all of the people who contribute to this beautiful work. I feel it is among the most important, but also the most joyful work that I have ever done, and I intend to keep doing it for as long as I can. So blessings on all of you, and again, just deep, heartfelt gratitude for all that you are doing for the Lord's children.
Thank you so much, Bob. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We wanted to share a little bit too about what Bountiful Children is doing to help malnourished children. And again, we're focusing on Iloilo, Philippines tonight. I just wanted to share a few things. Our mission is to provide nutritional supplementation to malnourished children and pregnant and nursing mothers, and as well as to teach health and cognitive development skills to families in the areas that we're serving. And we've been serving malnourished children since about 2008. And so why is treating malnutrition so important? A child's brain grows more in the first 1,000 days than at any other time. And nutrition lost or gained during that time lays the foundation for a child's potential and growth. The brain that you see on the left side of this slide shows the activity in a child that has a stunted brain development. And on the right is the brain activity of a child that's healthy. And a Harvard Medical School study, among others, found that nutritional deficiencies can exert their most devastating impact during this first 1,000 days. And what does malnourishment mean for children? Quite simply, they aren't getting enough to eat. We saw this personally when we were in Guatemala, where sometimes all the children would have is just a small amount of rice and corn, just a very limited diet with little variety to provide the nutrition for their growing bodies. And without enough nutrients, children become underweight, stunted, etc. We saw firsthand how many children didn't have the energy to play and be active, like we see in children in the United States, for instance. And one malnourishment issue is hidden hunger. Hidden hunger is when children aren't receiving enough nutrients to grow properly, but appear to be okay. We saw this again on our humanitarian trips. For instance, these children right here, we thought that they were maybe we were kind of guessing around 9, 5, and 3, and came to find out later that they were all about 2 years older. And the statistics show that malnourished children are less likely to be self-reliant as adults. The brain often doesn't develop as much as it could with proper nutrition. A healthy start is the first step towards this self-reliance. Here's an example in Madagascar. Moranto and Citraka, they're 2 children that are the same age. Moranto on the left has experienced normal growth. Citraka hasn't received proper nutrition, which can lead to these impaired brain development, a weakened immune system, etc. Studies have shown that children who are malnourished are 42% more likely to live in poverty all their lives. In the LDS church population, for instance, it's estimated that there are over 250,000 children who are malnourished in just the 12 countries above. Bountiful is currently serving about 17,000 children around the world. Screenings are often held at LDS church buildings. About half the children being helped are currently members of the church. There are many more families asking for help, though, too. There's 4 main components of Bountiful Children's program. We screen children by weighing and measuring them. We provide nutritional supplementation, and then the local coordinators teach health lessons, and Bountiful tracks the children's progress. Through our local coordinators, which you'll hear from one of them tonight in Iloilo, we do screenings where children are weighed and measured every 6 months to check on their status and their progress. We provide supplements free of charge each month to children who are found to be malnourished and to pregnant and nursing mothers in need of nutritional support. Bountiful Children provides nutrient-dense foods such as cereal, eggs, and other supplements depending on the area. The supplements are locally sourced, and this helps to keep the cost low so Bountiful can serve as many children as possible. The coordinators share health lessons with the families based on the needs of those in their community. The BYU Public Health Department has provided the curriculum for many of those lessons that the local coordinators teach. We track the progress of the children in the program. Here's an example of a girl named Annalie. Her height and her weight are improving, and she recovered from acute malnutrition. Many of our volunteers are highly skilled in medical training, public health, accounting, teaching skills, among other things. Our volunteers are the lifeline of our organization, though, and we really welcome any help you can give. You don't need a medical background. You just need to be willing and have a caring heart. So feel free to mention in the chat if you'd like to volunteer. You can visit bountifulchildren.org anytime. Our coordinators are often selected by an LDS stake ward or branch president in the country where we're working. They help us with screenings, health lessons, and distributing supplements. They're truly wonderful people who often express their love for the children and their thanks for being able to help the children in their community. They're given a small stipend to cover expenses and other necessities needed to do screenings and get supplements to the children. Adeline, are you on with us tonight? Not sure if Adeline's on with us tonight, but she is a coordinator who currently is attending BYU, getting a master's degree in public health. And it's been neat to have her kind of share some of her experiences of, being a coordinator, being in the States, seeing what's been able to happen with the children through Bountiful Children and things like that. We are currently helping children in 20 different countries and approximately 200 communities around the world. We receive requests from communities regularly. They're asking for help. We don't add a new community until we have funding to continue working there for some time. And then, does it work? That is kind of a big question. The results show significant improvement from the program's intervention. Approximately 75% of children experiencing moderate wasting and underweight symptoms improve in the first 6 months. Approximately 90% of severely malnourished children show improvement. There are some recent graduates from the program in the Philippines we thought would be fun to share. So this is Zian, who wants to be a doctor when she grows up. Ammon wants to be a missionary. Louise wants to be an artist. And Saren wants to be an engineer. It brings a smile to our face to see the children growing up well with some nutritional intervention. There are several ways that you can help too. We rely on donations, large and small. Anything's appreciated. $8 a month helps nourish a child. For a month, $100 a month can help nourish 12 children each month. We need volunteers here at home to help plan events like this and keep things running. We can also host a small gathering in your home. You would invite a group of friends and family over. Someone with Bountiful would give us a short presentation, and then they could ask any questions in a small, intimate setting. We term a fireside. This is a wonderful way to help spread the word, gather donations and things like that too. So you can reply in the chat if that's something you're interested in too. Another way to help is to travel to one of the countries we are serving. So humanitarian trips. I'm not sure if any of you have been on these, but really life-changing, I know, for me and my children. But it provides a great opportunity for volunteers to see where we work and gives them a chance to volunteer their time. It also is a chance to see the culture and the sites. And currently we have a trip planned for Ecuador in January and the Philippines in July. And you can also customize a trip to places like Africa, Peru, Cambodia, etc., where we work. And again, if this is something you're interested in, you can share your email in the chat or visit our website. Our trip to Ecuador is January 9th through the 16th, and there's 8 spots left. And then our trip to the Philippines is July 11th through the 18th, and there's 5 spots left. And here's just a couple of QR codes too, if you want to snap a picture of that or anything, or you can always just visit bountifulchildren.org anytime to find out more information, donate, volunteer, subscribe to our newsletter. And then the QR code on the right is our silent auction. And we have some fun items in the silent auction to help raise funds for Iloilo. There's some items such as some local, if you're in Utah, some Hale Center Theater, or there's the Shakespeare Festival down in St. George. And then there's also just some fun, like Noah's Ark set from Kenya and a Noah's Ark set from Guatemala. And Swig, Bob Reese, some of his wonderful books, along with a Thrift Books gift card, a lot of different things like that. So the silent auction QR code is on the left, and the auction will close at 9 p.m. tonight. So you'll have a little time after we get done with that too. So giveaway, silent auction, lots of fun things going on. So very fun. So then we were going to ask Christy if she might just share a little bit about her experience being the regional coordinator for all of Asia. She lives in the Philippines, but we asked her to just share a little bit about her experience being a coordinator.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this event. I've been in volunteering for Bountiful for 9 years now, and it has given me a lot of satisfaction to see the children that we are helping to really have this hope to grow up and to become self-reliant and to perform well in school, to hold good jobs in the future because of the help that we're giving. What I am so happy about is the awareness that we are raising in our communities, in the countries that we are serving. So there's a saying that it takes a village to raise a child, and it is so true for alleviating malnutrition. So right now we are seeing people coming out to join us, people from the government, people from other organizations, helping each other so that we can help more and more children. So there is this one community where the village chief has given out eggs to our malnourished children, so to support their daily diet, and that is so good. We love our coordinators. They are so trustworthy and they're so committed. They travel far distances to reach our recipients who live, and many of them in remote places, so they are far from the health centers. And we thank our volunteer coordinators for that. And so we're happy that you can join us and you can spread the word that there's still many people needing our help, and we can change. We can make changes one child at a time. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Christy. We appreciate you so much. Joyce, would you have time to say a little bit to us about your experience as the local coordinator in Iloilo?
Yes, Angela, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to share and to let people know about our community. And it's a great experience for me to serve other children. As for myself, I have 4 kids. So although it's a lot of load to be a mother of 4 kids, but I'm grateful that I still have time to also serve other children. And in my community, I think I have 45 children, and and they all live, most of them live in a very poor area that really needs help. And then they also have very poor health. So the help or donations that we get from the Children Foundation is really a big help for them. And can I share about my personal experience? When I was young, I didn't know that I was malnourished. So I was known in my class to always sleep in my class until I was in college. And I realized that when I became a coordinator in this foundation, I learned that I was anemic. So if you are anemic, you you lack oxygen in your body, and you feel sleepy most of the day. So I missed a lot of my education. I mean, I missed a lot of lessons when I was in elementary, in high school, and in college. But in my children, I help my children to be healthy, especially their emotional and mental health. So my daughter graduated as valedictorian in her school, and I know health is very important because that's what I had experienced when I was young. So the nutrition that the foundation is providing is very helpful. It has a long impact to the children. For us, it's we donated money, and that we also sacrifice money for the foundation. But for the children, it's their future. I know we can change their future if we help them to be healthy, and good health for children also help them to be prepared emotionally, mentally in the future. So I'm grateful to be a coordinator in this foundation. I really learned a lot. That I learned that health is very important, not just education, giving good education to our children, but health is like a preparation for them to excel in education and in future. Yeah, that's it. Thank
So
you.
great. Thank you so much, Joyce. And Lorna, we're going to hear from you in just a minute after we watch this video that Joyce made of the Baco family, so of Lorna's family. And Lorna, what's your son's name?
Lorna. I'm sorry, what was that, Angela?
Sorry, what is Lorna's son's name?
Baco. Baco.
Oh, is that his first name,
Baco.
Baco?
Lorna is her first name, and the last name is Baco.
And then her son's name? What's her son's name?
Your son's name?
My son's name, this one. He is Ray Sober.
Ray Sober. Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for letting him join us. If he needs to go do some other things, that's totally fine too. But Lorna, we'll get back to you in just a minute. Let's just share this video so they can kind of get an idea of your family. This was such a neat video that Joyce shared. So let's do this video here really quick. Okay. Thank you so much, Joyce, for making that. That was just sweet. I got a little teary-eyed in certain parts of that. So thank you so much for making that for us. I know you guys are busy, and anyway, we just appreciate you so much. I know even right now, isn't Lorna, is your husband, you're trying to, anyway, juggle lots of things. It's morning in the Philippines right now, and usually they'd be getting busy working. And anyway, sorry to interrupt your busy day, but Lorna, we'd love to hear from you. Have you share your experience with Bountiful or whatever you'd like to share.
I just want to say thank you for all the help that you gave us and still giving us until now. Starting from my oldest son. He was also a recipient, and until now, all of my children were and are recipients of the foundation. Thank you so much. I hope that you will receive more donations and you will continue to share blessings with us here in the Philippines to help us and to help us make our children healthy and have a bright future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lorna. It's just wonderful to see. And what's your other son's name? Or is that your son, Joyce?
This is my son, Tyron, and he was also a recipient. Say hi, Tyron.
Hi, so great to see you guys. Thank you so much. Joyce sent a bunch of other great pictures and other videos. We really appreciate that too. Just fun to see kind of where you live and where your water source is outside of the house and things like that. We appreciate hearing all those things. Thank you so much. So just to kind of give an update. So currently, again, we're trying to raise funds for Iloilo, specifically that community. And we've currently raised about $1,000 of the $6,000 for Iloilo. And so, like we mentioned, Monica will be putting in the chat a link for the silent auction. And there also will be a link for our website to volunteer or donate or subscribe to the newsletter. So we'd love to have your help in any way that is comfortable for you. And also have a few minutes for questions. So if anybody has any questions, they could put those in the chat. It could be specific to Lorna or Joyce or Christy, or we even have Gary, who's one of our board members, is on the call. Bob Reese is, again, one of the founders. Anybody you'd like to address a question to? And Monica, maybe if you can tell us if you see any questions too.
We had one that came in earlier asking, does Bountiful provide anything other than supplements for children?
That's a great question. So if anybody else would like to take that, or I can just start talking and somebody else can jump in too if you want to say anything about that. So currently the coordinators will provide these monthly supplements based on the needs of the children in their area. And again, it can consist of eggs, grain cereals. It just depends on the community. But we keep our focus on supplementing children's nutrition and providing the family with health lessons. We just feel that that's that having proper nourishment is just a basic human need. And we hope to be able to help all the children in the program have a brighter future. That's kind of our focus. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that or any other questions?
If there's no other thoughts on that one, there was a question put in the chat that asks, how do you decide which communities to serve?
So that's a great question. Gary or Bob, would you want to comment on that, how we decide which communities we serve? Or I'm happy to too. just chime in if you want to though. But yeah, so as far as choosing the communities, it kind of depends. And Christy, you might even have some thoughts on this too. I know Christy will have different communities ask her for help. And Christy, would you want to tell us how you decide which communities in the Philippines that you'll help?
We usually these communities reach out to us, and then we try to contact the people that we know there. And then we decide, because there are so many communities asking for help, we decide depending on the availability of our funds and on which areas have the densest population of malnourished children. And then those are the factors that we consider in choosing the communities. So right now, we are not able to open new communities right now because our funds are just committed to those that we are already serving. And so there's a need to raise more funds so that we can help more people.
So true. Thank you, Christy. So true. Any other questions in the chat or anyone has?
Other one was, do you have
Monica? Sorry, I think the Gillians might have had a question.
I'm
Gillian,
so sorry.
did you have a question? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm Judy Gilliland, and you had mentioned in your publicity that there are ways that we can volunteer. Will you be covering that later?
Yeah, well, so we could just mention a few. So we have lots of different ways as far as helping with the website, helping with making some videos, helping with social media. Sometimes it even just helps to meet, just to kind of go through ideas. We call it our ideas meeting, that we just meet once a week and just kind of share ideas. So there's just lots of different ways. And if there's a certain thing that you're even thinking about, like, oh, I would love to help with, for instance, we have a hunger banquet in November at BYU. You know, we always need help there at events, or even if you just have an idea, lots of different ways. And you can just send a message on the website or put your email in the chat, and we'll get in touch for sure. For sure. So thanks for asking, Judy. Appreciate that. And sorry, Monica, you mentioned another question too.
Yes, so we have a couple in the chat. There's one asking, how much in annual donations would it take to reach all hungry LDS children and their friends in the local communities?
Kurt, would you want to touch on that? Or as I understand it, if no one else is chiming in, I think we'd need about 10 times what we're getting currently, just to help all of the LDS children. That's, of course, we want to help more than just LDS children. So, the need is great. If we could help every child that was asking for help and every family that was asking for help, that would be beautiful, a beautiful day. But yeah, it'd probably be at least 10 times what we are currently getting in donations. But we appreciate all that we're getting for every child that's being helped. We certainly appreciate it. Just hoping to expand that to be able to help even more communities that are asking for help. And so we just appreciate you sharing with your friends, spreading the word, sharing a post on Facebook, anything like that just helps to kind of make people aware. A lot of people don't know about Bountiful. So thanks for any help. Any other questions?
Yes, there's one more in the chat. It says, how do you find people to implement the program locally?
Yeah, so that's where typically, as far as I understand, they will contact a stake president or a branch president of the LDS church and ask if they might have a suggestion of a coordinator. And so a lot of times those coordinators end up being Relief Society presidents or primary presidents, things like that, that are close with the children, know the children. They're able to do the screenings and get volunteers to help at the screenings at a church building. And that's why a lot of times, a good, at least half of the children are LDS, but then no one is turned away, anyway, anyone that we can help that's malnourished, we try to help. So any other questions?
Yes. Is LDS Charities partnering with you, and how are local wards and stakes partnering with you?
So as far as wards and stakes, so if we're talking about fast offerings, those fast offerings typically go to your own stake. And if for some reason our stake, for instance, doesn't need those funds, then they can go elsewhere. Is kind of how that works. But currently we just have the area presidency in Central America that is helping to pay for supplements for the children. We are needing to work through different area presidencies, and they decide if they're going to help provide supplements. So Central America currently is where we're working with the LDS Church on providing supplements. And then we help provide all of the other things as far as the coordinators and logistics and things like that.
We do not receive funds from LDS Charities.
Specifically. Yes, true. Yes. Thank you, Gary. Any other questions?
I think the last one is, do you have other communities besides Iloilo that are in need of adoption?
Great question. Yeah, so we have many communities throughout the world that are in need of adoption from, Central America, South America, Haiti, Madagascar, Philippines, Cambodia, lots of different areas. And sometimes some neat things that we've seen is we've seen families go in together, maybe their adult children and things like that go in together to sponsor a community. It's approximately $6,000 to support a community of children. But again, any donations to a certain community are certainly welcome. And again, you can message us if there's a certain community that you're interested in, or you can look on the website too. We have a whole list of areas we serve, and it shows if certain communities are still needing adopting or if they've been adopted and things like that. So lots of things like that. And so that was our last question, you say, Monica?
I think Steve Gillard has another one.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm Judy, his wife.
Sorry, I was going off the name.
Yeah, I know. I didn't take time to change it. Now let's see, I need a minute to remember my question.
You're fine.
Let's see, what were we just talking about?
So we're talking about how you can adopt a community.
Yeah. So the 6,000 would be for 1 year of.
It supports a community for a year. So more or less, like some donors, will just do it monthly. So $500 a month, more or less, is how it works out to be to cover a community for a year. So,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. And then we send updates every 2 months. Just really, it's been a really wonderful experience to get those updates from the specific communities if you donate it to a certain community.
So if we wanted to set up something like in our ward with monthly donations, and we settled on a particular area, then you would find a ward or in need that we could maybe share pictures and letters and things with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bob actually did this with his area, and they were able to adopt a certain community, and again, then just see updates and things like that on that certain community. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
Teamwork, yay.
Mhm.
Angela,
Yes.
maybe you could mention how we try to minimize any administrative expenses so that the donations are going overwhelmingly to feed the children.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons that I volunteered with Bountiful back in 2016 was because of that, keeping the costs low. So that money is going right to the kiddos. And yeah, again, really appreciate all that Bountiful's done and figuring out a lot of that information to make sure it's getting to the kiddos. Thanks for bringing that up, Kurt. Okay, so if that's all, I was going to say, feel free to stay on after. We're going to have just this little thank you video from Iloilo here at the end, but feel free to stay on if you'd like to chat about anything else or have any other questions. But we really appreciate your support, appreciating you joining us tonight, and appreciate your help in any way that works out for you. And our next event, I think I mentioned it already, but it's going to be a hunger banquet at BYU November 17th, and we'd love to have you join us. You'll see that in our emails and on our Facebook. And here's a little video that our amazing intern, Monica, made. And again, feel free to stay after, but we really appreciate you joining us and hope you have a great week. Okay. Oh, I forgot to make it so you can hear the sound. Just 1 minute. Try that one more time. Okay. There we go. Okay, thank you so much. Again, feel free to stay on if you have any questions, and we just appreciate you so much. Hope you have a great week. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.